Good afternoon, people. I want to talk a little bit about something real quick. Why does YouTube suck so much? And there's some minor things and then there's some major things. Here's one minor thing that kind of irritates me that started as of recently over the last couple of days. It doesn't stop you from watching the video, but it's like, "Oh, you have ad blocker? Well, we would really appreciate if you would turn it off. If your ads weren't so fucking intrusive and long, I'd be able to deal with it." But they've gotten worse over the last couple of days. I had a while now where for some reason on my laptop in my room, which doesn't have ad blocker, by the way, that all of a sudden ads for videos wouldn't play anymore, or just didn't play. So I'd wondered, oh, did Smosh and Civi 11 get demonetized? No, YouTube was just being weird and stupid. Now they play almost every minute, at least, and they get longer and longer and longer, and they will not even stop until you hit the skip button or anything like that. But let's talk about something that's way more important than bullshit, annoying ass ads from YouTube and this dumb bullshit. Why isn't YouTube enforcing their policies? Or I guess rather, hasn't been, only when it's in the most irritating way possible, when it fucks over people that really haven't done anything wrong. Why is YouTube allowing some people to go around and flag other people's videos for bullshit reasons? Like, if you heard about it recently, what was that asshole's name? Yeah, Quantum TV, when it was allowing him to go around and flag people's videos because they dared to talk about him and his bullshit. Or even as of recently, now, this wasn't via YouTube, but it was via Instagram, where a person known as Sniper Wolf doxed Jack's Films, went to his house and filmed his address, filmed his house, just showed up there at night because she wanted to debate him. Because from what I understand, he'd been making videos talking about her for a while, about how her content is unoriginal, how she steals other people's ideas, and whatnot. Now, not everybody is going to have an original opinion on something, but it is certainly about how you present that opinion and whatnot. But how do you still have a platform? How do you still have an audience after being like, oh, this person is talking about my work? I'm going to go and dox them. Do you have any idea how insane that is? And the fact that there are people that are defending that behavior. Defending doxing. Nuh-uh. 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 Fuck you. Unless you're fucking Hitler, unless you're the devil incarnate, you don't dox people. Ever. And the fact that people still, to this very day, are not denouncing that behavior at all. The fact that years ago, there were Game Grumps fans who doxed somebody because they weren't in love with their dating sim game, so the fans decided to dox them. And the fact that the Game Grumps did not bother to come out and say, hey, that's not fucking cool at all. No. Let's just keep our mouth shut. Let's just keep our heads down. Let's not say anything. What the actual fuck is going on YouTube? And the fact that YouTube itself doesn't do anything to protect its creators or anything like that. The fact that they only do shit if it's a small channel that breaks a minor rule, or maybe a bullshit rule that they didn't know about, because YouTube loves to change their rules oh so often and not tell their creators, because that's just brilliant, YouTube. But then again, it all is probably just run by bots at this point. There are no humans, except for maybe whoever's at the top, and they don't give a fuck about what's going on their website, which just baffles me. How can you run a business and have people running around doing absolutely insane shit, doxing people, threatening people, getting people's phone numbers, bragging about it on their channel and whatnot, showing it off on other platforms? Why hasn't any of these platforms stepped in to be like, this is not okay, we are banning this person and making sure they are never allowed on our network again? Ever. How does that happen? It's especially funny, too, when the rare time YouTube decides to do something is only when, especially if a big company like Bungie or a big anime company decides to get involved to be like, hey, we don't like that thing. We demand you take it down, or else otherwise we're never going to do business with you again. Oh, well, okay. I mean, at least in the case of Bungie, it was them stepping in to help fans and whatnot, because there was a shitty fan going around flagging other people's videos because their video got flagged by YouTube. So I guess they decided, well, if I can't do this, then nobody else can. And I'm going to make it look like that, just a really, really shitty person. And Bungie heard about it and spoke to YouTube and was like, hey, you need to fix this because this is bullshit. But when an anime company, the rare time YouTube decides to actually stand up for its creators because an anime company didn't like somebody critiquing their stuff, what's funny about that too is that it wasn't even that they were critiquing it, it was that they were showing footage of it, because God forbid anybody show footage to show reference as to what we're talking about. Fuck you. And I know I talked about this previously, but you gotta love it when it's like, they say they listen to their creators. They say they listen to their audience. But they don't. They're not. They don't give a shit about what we think. I mean, they certainly didn't when it came to certain features going away and new stuff just being implemented without talking to anybody and being like, hey, would you guys like this? Like, when it came to the dislike button, I believe everybody was like, no, and why? That's stupid. But they did it anyway. Well, I think really we all know why they did it, because of the infamous YouTube video that they made that nobody liked. So that, I guess, if they ever, which is funny because they haven't done that in years either, like since that last one, but maybe it's also because nobody wants to do it either, because it's like, no, like half those people that you even use in that video weren't even YouTubers. They were Twitch streamers or even people that are actually on television that just happen to have YouTube channels. I think it's ridiculous. It's like, say you work in a kitchen. You have 10 other employees. And one of them decides, I'm going to go around and stab a bunch of people in the hand. I'm not going to draw blood yet, but I'm going to go around and annoy the ever-living fuck out of all the other employees. And they all go to the boss and they tell them about this. And the boss is like, well, I mean, they're not drawing blood. I mean, you don't need to go to the hospital, do you? So, I mean, you should be fine. But then that same employee goes and stabs the boss. Well, now the boss has a problem with it. Now there's a problem, because it got personal. So they then decide, oh, well, gotta fire you. Even though months ago they were running around stabbing other people. But it wasn't until they stabbed the boss. It's not until it becomes personal that, well, now it's a problem. Now I have to do something about it. friend of mine suggested once, what if all of the really big, multi-million subbed YouTubers, creators, all got together and did something? And I thought, well, that might be interesting. If they all got together to voice their concerns to YouTube and were like, hey, if you don't do something about this or fix this, we're leaving. We'll go to other websites. We'll make our own website. We don't really need you anymore. We haven't needed you for years. We just use you because you're convenient and free. I mean, I will admit, YouTube video is a great platform. Great. Video player is brilliant. I've barely ever had a problem with it. Any other video player, like you go to, can I even mention another one that isn't X-rated or anything like that? Their video players often suck. Consistently, they suck. YouTube's at least is good. It's fairly reliable, but it is rather funny, though, because every other website that also has a video format often uses YouTube's video format. But yeah, I just wanted to rant about that, because it's funny. It's interesting how YouTube has these policies, has these rules, but doesn't actually bother to implement them. Especially when people cross the line. Every single policy, this person or even one person has violated one, and then another has violated several. But YouTube chooses to stay out of it, just not do anything about it. When are you going to do something, YouTube? When are you going to step in and actually do your job? Because you allow people to dox people. Let me guess, are you going to do something in the unfortunate case a YouTuber gets murdered because some piece of shit doxed them over something trivial? Is that when you're going to step in and do something? And actually protect your creators? Maybe when you get sued? Maybe that's what should happen. Maybe YouTubers who are getting harassed and whatnot by other YouTubers should sue YouTube. Maybe that's what should happen. Maybe that'll actually get the ball rolling and YouTube will be like, oh, this actually affects us now. Guess we gotta do our job. We'll see. Anyway, I'm sorry for the long rant. That was just something that had been on my mind this morning. But let me know what you think. Take care of yourselves. See ya.